some other shit. Yes, OSOS. Yes, I'm on some other shit. Yes, I'm on some other shit.
We on some other shit. Comprende? Yeah.
What up? It's on some other shit. It's your boy Joe Prophet. Lovely Monet Banks. Hey, man, we're giving you opinions back with facts. Straight like that. Man, you know, we got a special one today. It's just a Happy New Year, my man.
I was about to say,
before we
just
get to it, let's go, man.
back
Happy
and
New
start
Year,
again.
y'all, man. You know, kind of feel like we did y'all a little wrong because we're down in the middle of the month and we ain't seen y'all yet. But
I mean, we had to, gather our thoughts and be ready to deliver some good content to the people. You know, we're not just out here trying to put things out there, but we actually want it to be valuable information and content. So we appreciate y'all for waiting. This is the first episode of 2022, like Prophet said. So I hope y'all are ready for action. Y'all gonna see a lot more of us this year. And we are determined to put it in y'all face. So just don't take it personal. You know, we coming for that full force. So I hope you guys are ready. Now,
we got a special one, man.
All right. So the theme for 2022, shall I say, walking by faith, being focused and determined. So we have first of all, let me back up. I had to clear my throat. Okay. So the artist that we have on the show, guys, is very powerful, and it's going to be, it's a momentous event.
Okay.
So welcome. Give me an opportunity, y'all. Clap it up. Give me a clap, Mr. Prophet. You know what I'm saying? Give him a round of applause. We have 2.0 TNT joining us on the show. He is coming all the way from Georgia. Where are you at specifically out in Georgia?
I am in College Park, Atlanta.
College Park,
yes,
College Park. Shout out College Park.
You know, we appreciate that. So let's get right into it, because we definitely want to talk about the upcoming Gospel Hip Hop Awards. Actually, I didn't even know that was a thing. And so you're actually, what categories were you nominated for?
I was nominated for Male Artist of the Year, Producer of the Year, Video of the Year, Collaboration of the Year, and one other thing. I didn't know it was a thing until recently myself, until I got an email. So I was like, man, it's an honor to be honored. You know what I'm saying? So,
right on. So what song was nominated? Is it the For My City? You know, the one that you?
Oh yeah, that's the one for my city.
Pumping the thing pretty hard.
Yeah, for all last year, man. I got a new manager, and I guess we were just trying a different strategy of like, man, let's just promote, give it a little time, push it through all the avenues. I got a crazy network. So it's like, man, make sure everybody in your network got it and is behind this push. And I guess it worked. At least a little bit.
It definitely worked a little bit.
The marketing,
I just told John, I see you been pushing the hell out that motherfucking shit. Like, so I'm saying, you're doing your damn thing, man, and we appreciate it. Go ahead, man.
So how long have you actually been a producer? How long have you been making music?
I've been making music probably over 10 years, since I was probably about 18, 19, somewhere around there. But seriously, since 2016, like my solo career and all that kind of stuff, seriously, since 2016.
So I saw on your bio where you were talking about how genres can basically put you in a certain box, and you want to basically eradicate the old ideals or ideologies of gospel music and kind of bring forth something new and just something different to the people. Can you just talk about that a little bit more? Because I mean, whenever you think about gospel music, obviously there are some of the heavy hitters that you think about, but how are you going about that?
So I think that one of the boxes is that it has to have a sound, and personally I feel like gospel music is the only genre that's not categorized by sound elements. It's categorized by the message. And so as long as it's a gospel message, it could be a white lady and a guitar. It could be a big black lady with an organ behind her and a choir and all that kind of stuff. It could be a man in a suit and some pointy shoes with a choir behind them. Like all of that can be gospel, and it could be somebody rapping on the microphone from down the street and around the corner. You know what I'm saying? As long as the message is hitting. And so for me, it's always been about I'm a rebel by nature, or just not I don't do what everybody else doing because they doing it. So when I got saved and I got serious about my faith and decided to do music, my first thing was I don't like what's going on, like, and there was something in me that was like, man, this can't be the only way. It's got to be more to it than this. Just because I respect God and my faith is serious, it don't mean I got to be corny, cheesy, or try to make everything about sin and salvation. Well, it's a real life out here. And so I felt like the purest form of this is to put your faith in your own words in a way that you understand it and communicate it the best way that you know how. For me, it's hip hop, that's rap. You know what I'm saying? That's what I grew up in. And so it's like, okay, well, I tried it. It failed. I tried to do the Lecrae type, you know what I'm saying, sin and salvation. Let's keep it really clean and really PG-13. And it was like, man, folks weren't rocking with me like that. Like, they recognized the talent, but it was like they weren't rocking with me like as hard as it is.
Why do you think that is? Do you think people choose not to want to be so closely associated with, just that clean image? Or what do you think is the real reason why they would choose not to want to kind of go in that direction?
Honestly, because it wasn't 100% authentically me. Everybody know, anybody who have a conversation with me know it's more than, you know what I'm saying, still waters run deep. You know what I'm saying? A conversation with me is how you laughing, thinking, you know what I'm saying, laughing again, and then looking at something from a different perspective. And so they wasn't getting that from the music when I was doing it like that. And so when I stopped trying to fit it into a perceived box or what people thought it was, and started making it how I make it, you know what I'm saying, with my recipe and my flavor on it, then it started to get better reception. And so I was like, well, forget who don't rock with it. There's a certain group of people I started noticing rock with it almost exclusively. Like, bro, like, right. I listen to your music every day. And it's because you talk about stuff that's relevant to us and where we grew up and all that kind of stuff and where we came from. I can understand you. I hear you. You speak my language. You care about the things that I care about. I don't know how to care about certain other things because that's not my experience. And so trying to talk about things to make you feel comfortable left me uncomfortable, and it wasn't giving me the room that I needed to be who God made me. You know what I'm saying? So the more I started to tap into, some might say my purpose, some might say passion, but the more I started to try to put who I was every day into the music and make the music conform to me, rather me conforming to the music, then it started out of here. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm curious, because I want to really know how far are you willing to go? How far are you willing to go in this conversation? Because when you talk about people's perception, or people's praise, or how praise looks to different people, how do you feel as though your music has people have been able to connect with your music specifically and your style?
So, I'm more about principles. I feel like it's enough people talking about sin and salvation, who they used to be. They used to be in this gang and they used to do this stuff, but they changed now. And it's like, all right, that's cool. But it's not enough people talking about that space in between who I used to be and who I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be an angel now. Like and so I focus on that space in between, the process, that every day, and the principles that help you grow through it. And so people typically, man, anybody who's progressive, anybody who has experienced life and kind of set certain priorities, they rock with it. And then on top of that, man, like, man, I'm from Atlanta, and I got every little bit of flavor that Atlanta got to offer. And I try to rap that and represent that in my music. Not try, I mean, I just am. I can't help it. I get consistent comparisons to certain Atlanta artists on a regular basis, and it's like, well, I'm from the same place. I grew up with the same, similar environment. So it's like, how can you not be a reflection of
product of your environment.
You know,
so it's like people.
Hey,
people.
so I wanted to. I didn't mean to cut you off, but you had me thinking when you was talking. It was something early in the conversation. I really wanted to ask before you started kind of explaining, what you were talking about now. Because a lot of, and this is just, I'm talking from the other side. My opinion, like, sometimes when an artist or something is considered a quote unquote gospel rapper or something like that. Excuse me. Like some might look at this person or this artist as someone who thinks that they're better in a sense, and not to say that you like this at all, but I'm just saying, in a sense, because it's like some people think that, finding the glory of God or, coming to God or, being baptized and all this, that, that in a sense, that they're better than you if you're not, or if you're not conforming to, the things that, or how they move like that you're wrong and they're right,
Yeah.
So it's like, what I mean? Like, with the rap thing and everything, it's just like maybe, and this is my opinion because you're right. There is a group, there is an audience for it, there is a market for it, but it's like I know I kind of started veering off, without a question, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, the question is like, I guess, do you feel like that's probably why it wasn't received, because of that, people's the other side of it, somebody else's perception of it. Do you think that's why or do you feel like that's why it wasn't perceived by the audience like you felt it should have, when you originally started this, and why you came with the style that you're coming with now?
No, because I mean, one thing I always been is solid. So it wasn't never about my presentation, because my grandma taught me before I cared anything about I guess religion, faith, all that kind of stuff. She said you got to treat everybody right. It was put into me like there is no respect of persons. You know what I'm saying? You judge and handle people for what they do and how they respond to you, not necessarily for where they at, what they got going on, or what they don't have going on. So that was never my issue. It was more, for me, it was more of I couldn't really tap all the way in to give you the raw version of me, the passion of me, because I knew I was trying to present a message and not just giving you the raw, unfiltered, me. You know what I mean? And when I ripped off the filter a little bit, when I ripped off the filter, it was like it was more potent. Like everybody always knew I had something, and everybody knew I was approaching it from a different perspective than what they had heard before, but it wasn't potent. You know what I'm saying? It was like it excuse the expression, but I got in there, but I was able to get the first base, but I ain't score. You know what I'm saying? Right. It wasn't full penetration, because it was like, bro, like it's mid. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not. It's cool. It is different. I like it, but it wasn't potent because I didn't go all the way in. I kept trying to censor myself. I kept trying to
fully transparent and just give
it all. Yeah, because I knew the audience
being all the way transparent. Just letting it all.
Yeah, no, I ain't booty butt ball naked, but at the same time, it was like it's more than the surface stuff that I thought was going to be accepted, because I had seen people be blacklisted for talking about more social, subjects and talking about anything other than sin and salvation. I mean, we're gonna call a spade a spade. In the beginning, it was all about the white churches and the white youth groups in the suburbs. And that was the main audience for this genre of music. And so it was like, man, you say anything offensive to them, your career is done. And the number one, the top priority of success, or you're successful in this when you're getting booked at those youth conferences for the Baptist churches, and you're doing these mega churches, but they're usually white. And their frame of reference and for understanding is this is a alternative to listening to the JayZs and
I was gonna ask you that. Do
music.
you feel, it's like Will Smith rap, where it's clean?
Yeah,
They want to hear rap, but they want it to be about Jesus. So do you
right.
feel?
And
Do
we
you feel
talk
some
about the
sort of
things
way
that we're
about that,
comfortable
or
with.
do you feed into that perception?
Nah, I tried. That's what I'm talking about. When I tried to, I failed because I'm really not like anybody who know me know that like, man, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna tell you how I feel, and I'm gonna be as authentic as probably anybody else on the earth. But in the music, I just kept trying to censor myself, and it was like, man, this is not the full me. This is not the best that I can be. Like, you'll get more out of a conversation than out of a song. And I was like, it should be the other way around if I'm going to be a pure artist. If I'm going to be a real artist, you should be able to see my art and my creation and feel like you know me better. Feel like you know more about me and like you've had a conversation with me.
And that's why you producing your own music, you creating your own content, because you have the control over your style and how you want to be perceived as an artist. So there's nothing that nobody can say. You say, hey, if you can't say nothing to me, if you ain't walking by faith, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't moving by faith, if that's not the way that you are, basically you have to be channeling and your inner like, I guess conscience or your soul ultimately has to be aligned. So look, what big projects do you have coming up? Because I'm very interested in, when are the Gospel Hip Hop Awards actually?
If I'm not mistaken, it's in like April. They just started the voting super early. But I'm
behind it. Like who is it? BET?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know. It's an organization. This guy named Jay Williams, I believe his name is, and he just kind of started it because there wasn't really I guess he saw a gap. You know what I mean? It's a whole lot more artists, and again, the genre mostly was controlled by light skinned people and the things that they're comfortable with, and so it didn't recognize everybody. It recognized people who fit into that the safe artistry. And for those who didn't, or for those who are expanded that, or even just expanded the sound of what was presented, they didn't have a place. They're getting rejected. And so I think he created it for us and those who don't fit the typical.
I mean, they're not knowing now. They're not knowing you're Niger now.
Come on now. Yeah, I am.
And that's crazy though, because being Nigerian, it's like, it's like
it's different.
Like you got the best of both worlds, because you grew up in Atlanta, right? It's a lot of Nigerians out there.
I mean, people perceive you as Black American. They don't know off the back that you are.
No, everybody know. Everybody. Well, I say
when they see you, they immediately think that you're African.
No, not from having a conversation with me, but anybody who's around me more than 3 or 4 conversations. One, because of my name. My first name is Bola. My last name is Olatero Olabigi. But I ain't never tried to hide it. I used to be
you're a bug guy, huh?
Yes, sir. So I got, I had to stand on my own too. And for people who try to come for me about my name in school all the way growing up, but it just became a part of who and how I was. And it was like, man, I wear it on my shirt. You know what I'm saying? I had a company give me some shirts that said Nigeria is the new cool. And it was like, I rock it proudly, because it's like, man, like, I'm glad that I'm not 100% American. No disrespect to it, but my mind different. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of things about me that are a reflection of my environment. But one thing, my dad is Nigerian, my mom's American. But one thing about me that I really appreciate is that I don't mind going against the grain or doing something totally different than what everybody else is doing, because that's how I was raised. I'm resourceful. I'm you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm respectful, and then there's a level of disrespectful that I can go to as well, because I'm Nigerian. And it's a lot of principles and things that was put in me that help me to be successful in everything I do. Because I'm Nigerian, and I don't hide it at all.
When last time you been to Nigeria?
Don't do me like that, bro.
You know, I had to wake it up. You know, we start going there.
Yeah, so
Nigeria is the new cool. So what's going on?
Yeah, so I've never been.
Oh man, hell no.
I know. I knew you was gonna get me. Listen. But here's not that I don't want to go.
No, you need to go.
Yeah, for sure.
You know it's the new cool. You know what it is, you know.
Yeah.
You just gotta,
but I got a super huge family. Like, I don't talk about this much, because I don't have much but principles to show for it. But my granddad was actually a well-known Nigerian king, from Ondo State, and so he had like 30 wives, over 100 kids, and I got a lot of family here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've lived in Mississippi before. I've always had plenty of uncles around me. I'm in Atlanta. I've always had plenty of uncles, aunts, and cousins around me.
Nigerians in Mississippi.
And look, bro. And it's a direct flight from Atlanta to Lagos. It's direct, straight.
Yeah.
No layover, no nothing. You know, straight to it. Boom.
Yeah. I was thinking about my passport or renewing my passport just the other day, man. But I gotta make it more of a priority. And my last grandmother, Nigerian grandmother, she passed last year, man, and it killed me because I hadn't been over there. Like, it was a dagger through the heart. Like, I don't cry about much, man, but I shed a few tears over there because I was like, man, that's a connection that I ain't work hard enough to.
You just need to embrace the culture over there, bro. You know, I think that, you know, you would enjoy it, you know. It's a lot of
now. Tap in now. Don't think I ain't one of the ones that grew up and don't know. I'm very well versed in. You know what I'm saying? I know, but it's like, man, I just haven't physically been there.
Yeah, and that's, I think, in some aspects and in some, depending on how you look at it, sometimes that's better than knowing is actually going. You know, so. You know what I mean? Because
once you touch down, you already feel it in your spirit. It's gonna take over.
You'll know, when you get there and when you go. So, like you said, just make it a priority on your list. I think, just being the type of artist that you are, you probably be well received out there,
What is one thing, if you could just choose where you want to be a year from now, what's the one thing that you say that you want to have accomplished?
That's a good question. I would say, and I know this is gonna sound real vain, but I would say a level of revenue, just because more than it is about showing off, it's about having the resources to do more, to be more, to share more, to expose more. Right. You know what I mean? To do it on a higher level. And of course the exposure, the more people knowing about the music and the artistry and what I do and all that kind of stuff. But my biggest thing is it's all about the purpose to impact people and to inspire people and, you know what I'm saying, to grow their faith and all that stuff. And I've been blessed to do miracles with make something out of nothing. As I shared in my song.
Right.
But I think it gets to a point where it's like, okay, well, it's time to take something and flip that a few times so that you can 10x it. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I have to be.
Why did you choose 2.0, or why did you choose that as your name?
The origin of that, that name.
I didn't choose
2.0. 2.0 is the second version, so
2.0 chose me. Now,
okay. You ain't new to this. You true to this.
Right. So when I was in college, I had developed a reputation and a nickname as Hustle Man. So just about everything. And so when I got serious about my faith, I cut that part of me off. Tried to cut off all ties to that persona. And I think I was praying one day, and it hit, either praying or reading the Bible, and it hit me. It was like, man, you really think God just now start fooling with you? Like, everything that happened up to this point was an accident and should be disregarded. And it was like, dummy, God made you who you are from the very beginning, from before you came out your mom's womb. Like, if that is a fact, then that means all of this was a part of the plan. And the talents and the gift of gab and the salesmanship and the resourcefulness and the ideas and just being able to communicate with people like I did and command respect like I did, that wasn't an accident. It should not be disregarded, but redirected. And so at that point, it was like, okay, well, at first it started off Hustle Man 2.0, as in to say like, okay, now that I got a relationship with God, that's an upgrade of everything that I already was, but now it's a better version of myself. But then people they just will not leave that Hustle Man alone. Because they kept, hey bro, like I'm trying to get some room.
They said you Hustle Man, god dog it.
Yeah, like come on, bro, don't. And so it's like, I remember what got me the most, and I felt I at first I felt bad about it. They was like, man, boy, I remember when you did this, and I remember when you ran off on the police. I remember when you X, Y, and Z. And I was like, man, that's so not who I am anymore. Like, I appreciate it. That's fun. It was fun and it was funny. But like, man, quit bringing that up. I'm trying to be somebody not totally different, but like I'm just trying to be on something different. So I just cut that Hustle Man part
trying
off.
to be OSOS. You ain't gotta say it, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Shout out. Shout out my dog.
We got your back.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what that's all it means, man. And then I've upgraded that from Christ was the upgrade, or relationship with God was the upgrade, to, man, I'm just trying to be a better version of who I was yesterday. That's why it ain't going past 2.0.
That's all it's
I just need to be better
than
who I was yesterday.
Right.
Yeah.
See, I knew it had to be something.
Yeah.
It's like what it makes a lot of sense. But my question for you, I want to know, do you feel like, do you have a problem with if people tell you that they don't like your music? How do you react to the negativity?
I don't hear
it's not
that.
Always positivity, you know. It's like, how do you take those?
I don't hear that too often, so I don't necessarily have I don't necessarily have an answer ready for you. But the few times that I have heard people just kind of be like, it was actually people who are in gospel music or that kind of genre. People outside of church typically rock with me. Like, they don't either they rock with me.
We don't even look at it as if it's negative or positive feedback or versus just feedback, you know, because sometimes we hear stuff and because we don't like the way it sounds or we don't like the way it came out, we just automatically perceive it as negative. Yeah. And it's literally just that person's point of view, that thought.
Yeah.
Like,
everybody ain't gonna like it. Everybody don't like
positive, me. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be that. The way somebody feels about our music, even though, yes, if somebody's giving you what we consider positive, they're liking it. They're excited when our music is playing or whatever. Yeah, you want that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't get that, like, still it shouldn't affect your mood or how you feel, or you know, what I mean. It's just and then too, somebody just the way they feel, and they have the right to feel like that.
They do,
right? And you know, and then
rock with me. I feel like you rock with me more if I do feel like that.
The better question, I mean, I would say you're right. The better question is just how do you react to feedback, not necessarily positive or negative.
Right, just feedback.
Yeah.
I take it with a grain of salt, because art. I look at this as art. Art is objective, and so when it's like, man, it just stands alone. Like let's just say a pencil. It's a pencil. Either you like the pencil or you don't. I don't care why you like it or you don't. You have a right to like it or not like it. It was created for a specific purpose, and the people who need that purpose appreciate that pencil. And so I look at my art as the same way. Mm-hmm. I create it how I create it. I cook it up how I cook it up. And the people who like how I make it, they like it because it suits their needs. It scratches their itches. You know what I'm saying? Now, the people who don't appreciate it, I can't be mad at you because I'm not for
you just keep it moving.
Yeah, I'm not for you. This wasn't for you.
And there's a market for everything, though. You can literally build your fan base like you said, off the itches, people that need to scratch their itches. I like that. Because it's for them. Your message is getting to the people that it's for specifically. It doesn't have to be everybody doesn't have to be receptive to that. I mean,
I heard my pastor say it one time years ago, and that's what and it kind of helped me get to that mindset. And he said, man, everybody don't like Bentleys. He said that some people might see your brand new Bentley and say it's ugly. Does that make it any less valuable? Or that just means that that specific person doesn't like Bentleys. It doesn't make it any less of what it is. Doesn't make the quality any lower. It just means that's not their preference. And that kind of took me down the rabbit hole. Like, man, it was. Now I ain't gonna lie to you and say like, man, everybody need to rock with me because I'm hard. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you and say I didn't feel like that at first. But
right. Gotta be confident in ourselves for sure.
But I matured and just started to realize it's like, man, they're not rocking with me because this is not what they recognize. They don't appreciate the things that make me neat, and they don't value the value system is off. So it's like because they don't come from the environment that I come from, they ain't grow up listening to Outkast and T.I. and all the stuff that I grew up listening to. They can't appreciate the cadence, the rhyme scheme, the beat selection, the melodies, and all, and the stuff that I'm talking about. They can't appreciate that because it's foreign to them, which also means I'm not for them. I didn't make this for you, bro. I'm not talking to you then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's the biggest thing you're afraid of? What's the one thing that's holding you back?
Wow, I was just thinking about that this morning. It's like a deja vu. I figured somebody was gonna ask me that.
You gotta unleash the beast.
Yeah. I listen. I ain't gonna hold back. What I'm afraid of, honestly, conforming, being controlled. I've always kind of found myself being a spokesman. Like when I was in school, I was a class clown, like the school clown. I was legendary. I went to Westlake High School, same school Cam Newton went
legendary.
to. Adam Pac-Man Jones, like we produce some folks who do stuff.
Is Westlake in the hood in the ATL? Because over here in Texas,
it's like
Westlake. That's a suburban area.
Well, no, Westlake is it's weird. Atlanta's weird, man. So all of Atlanta was the suburbs at one point in time. But as more people started coming, like you'll get shot out there just as quick as you will anywhere else downtown. But it's in a place it's right off of Camerton Road, a place Ben Hill, Camp Creek, that area. So it is hood. But it's like, man, it's a lot of black money over there too, though. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, for Ben Hill, Camerton Road, look up those areas. Those are well-known places in the city.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, so I always kind of found myself being a spokesman, saying the one bold enough to say what everyone is thinking, but nobody else had the balls to say. And I've just kind of found myself not being afraid of authority or systems or people trying to tell you what's popular and what you should do and what you shouldn't do. I was raised by a soldier and a Nigerian to think my own thoughts, to do what I want to do because I want to do it, not because somebody influenced me. And so, man, to lose that is a fear because I know that I'm a leader. I'm a natural born leader as well. And people just they follow me. They trust me. They believe me. And to at some point become a tool of somebody else's system or their agenda, that scares me for whatever reason. That is my concern, that I sell out. I can't see it happening. But strange things happen, man, when you under the right kind of pressure. Your family get involved and you start having to choose between the rest of the world and the people you love and care about the most. Like I said, that is what concerns me. The most. I don't even want to say scared. I don't even like that word. Yeah. But that's what concerns me the most about if I ever stop being me.
And you have to always go back to the reason why you started or what made you want to start doing the things that you're doing. So just keep remembering your why, because that'll definitely help you stay focused throughout your entire journey that you've been on, and it's been incredible. I love it. I really think that you have, like, I mean, I was listening to the song earlier this morning, so I was just like, you know what, like, you have something. It's a spark, and I know that people can feel it whenever you're performing, or you're just out and about. Obviously, that's why you feel the gravity of people pulling towards you.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you a story. So earlier this week, I got prank called by Turk from the Hot Boys, and y'all remember the Hot Boys, Juvenile and Lil Wayne and BG and all them from Cash Money. So he called me, he prank called me. I did a mixtape with DJ Tokar's Street Gospel, and he called me. He was like, man, I'm a A&R from Universal. He said, man, I like what you're doing. You're talented. And he said, listen, we want to sign you. We got a contract right now for $3 million. He said, but listen, we got to get your numbers up. And he said, controversy sells, man. He said, can you just be a little negative, throw a diss record out there, just cuss a little bit more in your records and do this? And I was like, nah, bro, I ain't really built like that. Like, and he kept talking, trying to persuade. He kept trying me. I was like, bro, like, listen, I can't do it. Like, I'm just, even if I wanted to, and God knows I could use the money, I'm not built that way. And the more he kept talking, and it was a prank. Tokar's called me later, and he's like, yeah, bro, I didn't know what he was gonna say to you. I just knew that was on some social media app and prank calling a bunch of different folks. They made me give up somebody's number, so I gave you because I knew you were solid. And it like in that conversation, it was like, man, I felt like it was practice, because it was like, man, like, people expect for anybody who stands for something to fold. And in that moment, I sincerely had to think about it, like, this could happen in real life, but it was like, man, it's so many people depending on me that I'm talking about atheists. I'm talking about folks who agnostics and halfway don't believe in God, but they know it's something out there. I'm talking about folks who are young and they believers, and they know, like, it's some things that ain't right about church, man. But if you with it, like, I know it's something real about you.
That's something we could really get into that right now.
Listen, I'm with it. I'm with all of it.
Feel about the church, you know what I mean? Like, are you part of a church right now?
Yeah.
Because I got some kind of, I got some different feelings about that.
Yeah, I am a part of a church, man. Been the same church from the very beginning. I know it's not perfect, and I know it's I mean, I'll put it to you this way: I was connected to God before I was connected to church. Okay. And when I got serious about my faith, it was an experience I had with God alone. And so
do you feel everybody in your church understands that we all fall short of the glory of God?
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I don't think so, but it ain't none of my business whether they do or not.
I'm just glad you did keep it a buck, because if you would have said anything but what you just said, I'd have like, okay, yeah, you're full of shit. It's cool.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Good. Yes, sir.
You need people who gonna keep it a buck with you
all the time.
But and tell you that.
That's why you get. That's why you can call me personally, right there. That's why you can call me personally, brother.
Yeah, look. Being Nigerian, it couldn't be any other way. It couldn't be any other way.
No way. No.
Look, that's
the people who are in the church, or the Bible slingers, as you would call them, they are very judgmental, and it's really, and this is something that I know about personally, but it's like people who you have in your family who might be pastors, reverends, people who are actually in the church like that. Right. They are the ones who act like they've never done anything wrong, and it's damn you all to hell, those kind of things. And that is the people that I try to avoid in any type of situation.
They're the ones that really be in the church meetings,
because they're not the ones that are supposed to help
every
you.
Sunday, cooking, serving church meals on Sunday, deacon board. It's them. You know what I mean? And it's
now I will say this. A lot of it is ignorance. But just like you cannot categorize, just like they're wrong for categorizing everybody who don't come to church on a regular basis.
Right.
We can't categorize everybody that does. and say that they're all judgmental.
No, don't let me do that. Please
definitely not.
Please don't let me get on this show.
I'm just being very
and make
specific.
it seem like because you go to church every Sunday that you one of them. Because
because it's like
they know who they are.
One thing. I actually was at a church meeting Friday night, man, and it's weird. My relationship is weird with things. Like I got titles and all that kind of stuff, and I turned down some stuff too recently because it's like, man, I can't see that for myself. That's not. I don't feel like that's who God pushing me to be. But that's
they put you on a deacon board.
Huh?
They try to
ordained minister.
Yeah, okay. So I felt it was going in that direction or something.
Yeah, something like I can't see myself being there in a 3-piece suit in the middle of the aisle saying, "Will there be one?" You
feel
know what I'm saying? And holding my hands out, and I'm just not like. I'm not. I just cannot see it.
Oh man. But then you get up there and perform sometime during church too. That's when it's really getting crazy.
Yeah, I can't do that, man. I'm not. I'm not finna do that. Yeah. And then on top of that, I know too much, bro.
Right.
I know too much. I sing too much. I can't lie to myself. I ain't gonna lie to you either. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't all right. It ain't all sweet.
So is it like some level not of like sickness that you have to be? You know, like some level of just you don't care to be up there and be lying to people like that. I mean, not saying that every pastor does. I know there are a lot of people out there who want to help and who really want to spread the goodness of the word, but there are some that are just taking money from people and doing some stuff.
So I was thinking about it earlier today, and then I was kind of praying about it too. Like, man, like it's the element of control. It's an element of control. It's a system of control, and that's what I'm disagreeing with, because it's like, man, like if God is real and God is supposed to be all powerful, all knowing, the God and everything that you can imagine and beyond your imagination that God is, why do you need to micromanage people? Right. Why do you need to babysit them and treat them like, oh well, I'm gonna make sure that you do something? Why you got them? If God is real and the Holy Ghost and is what's actually growing me, I can have a relationship with God on my own. I don't need no training wheels. Not right now. I mean, some people may, but
it would just develop naturally, right?
Yeah, because that's how it was with me. It was like, man, some things that I know and I've learned, nobody could have taught me that. Nobody showed me.
Correct.
It was because it was like, okay, God, I literally prayed this when I first got serious. I said, God, if it's more than what I know, show me. And I felt like God did every single day since then. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, like I don't like the fact that, you know, even I was looking at a video on Instagram, and it was fun. It was supposed to be a funny video of a lady who was conducting a choir or something. And when I looked at it, I kind of got irritated because I was like, man, that's it. Even going back to slave days, like we've been socialized to be obedient, to be like there's an element of us in this country, especially in church, that likes being told what to do, and the better we respond, the better whatever we think they are. So when you think of a choir, you think a choir is excellent when they do everything that the choir the director, they hands do, when they do it, how they do it. It's like they're well trained, like a little dog or a little kid. And again, I can appreciate being in sync. I can appreciate being in alignment and on one accord and all that kind of stuff. But as soon as you have an idea that wants to expand what that is, you're shunned. As soon as there's something that gets presented in that context that goes beyond what we're comfortable with, you're shunned. You're bad. You're out of order. You're out of alignment. And it's like,
I like that. That
is the part that bothers me.
You don't want to fall into the normal society, what they want.
Not all the time. I mean, sometimes, like you said, it's okay. It's okay to be in alignment. It's okay to be, you know, flowing.
But mostly,
the point of that is understanding what the alignment is and then growing into your own alignment.
Right.
You know.
Right. Is it right because you're comfortable with it, or is it right because it meets a certain principle or a moral code? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And a lot of times it ain't got to do with no principle or no moral code. They don't even judge it by that. It is, this is what we've always done. This is how we've always done it. This is what we're comfortable with. This is what we accept. This is like God be telling me stuff, and I be feeling like, man, I can't talk to nobody in church about this because they're gonna think I mean, not that I care, but it's like, man, don't pee on the ant bed if you ain't got to. But it's like,
right.
There's some things that's kind of like that I see, and it's like, man, this lines up with scripture. This is everything sound by everything, but this is not a message that is, or a mentality that is publicly pushed, because it frees people and it forces people to be accountable for their personal actions, and it takes you away out of the seat of control to where it's like, okay, people are responsive to me versus people gonna do what they want to do, and I hope they make the right decision.
What is your overall perspective of just religion versus spirituality?
My overall perspective is that don't nobody know everything.
Right.
I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. What I believe and how I believe about Jesus is a little different than the traditional. I mean, to elaborate, I believe, and this is the Bible, that he was the word of God. They say it's three that agree in heaven. That's the Father, the Word, and the Spirit. There is no Jesus in heaven. It's the word of God. So and I think about it as in like they're in unity just as much as we are. My word match up with my spirit or match up with my personality, and they all are connected to who I am as an overall entity. And so I feel like, they say when you get saved, your name is written in the Lamb's Book of Life, and you gave your life to Jesus. And I feel like, in a very literal sense, like, y'all tell me if I'm tripping, what goes into a book?
Words.
Information.
So when you accept the word of God, then that means you have just accepted and embraced your purpose and who God created you to be. And at the moment that you accept that, now you are valid in the book. You get what I'm saying? And so it's not about the personality and the person of Jesus as much as it is about the purpose. He was sent to kind of, I feel like, as a big brother, lead by example and reconnect us, do some stuff we can't do, but then at the same time, lead by example and say, hey, y'all can do all of this stuff. Matter of fact, and some. I just needed to show you what was possible. So anyway, but I believe that I don't think it's bad, but I do think it's unnecessarily limited. I feel like people are afraid of things that go outside of their context because they don't have a foundation of a relationship with God for real. They got a foundation of a relationship with church, with tradition, with religion, the religious practices of tradition.
The tradition part is true.
Yeah, and so it's like, okay, to learn, like, I don't have a problem with yoga because of it's different. I have a problem with yoga because I studied the religion. I know that it is a form of worship. I know that it is a form of, it's a prayer. It is literally a prayer to those different deities. They got over 1,000 of them. And so it's like, for me, it's like, I'm not scared of the surface or scared of different, but I'm gonna go all the way in and make sure it is what you're telling me that it is. Like when I went to school, I learned biblical languages. I learned Hebrew, Latin. I taught myself how to read and write in Greek, and I know like 1 or 2 other languages too. But it was like I wanted to learn that because I felt like this was so serious. I didn't want nobody feeding me a lie. And then I found out later on something different, and it rocked my world. It's like, no, I'd rather find out for myself, and you give me the history and the academic side of it, because I talk to God for real. So I don't necessarily need your help trying to figure this part out. I just need to know what happened before up to this point that I don't know about, like the history of the church. Oh, dang, y'all slaughtered all these people. Y'all sent crusades.
Right, it was some shady sketchiness going on back then that they really tried to make it seem as.
Listen, like, missionaries were scouts. And missionaries were scouts before colonization. We gonna send them in.
I got before we let you get up out of here, man. I got my little.
I can talk all day, man.
And they are very random. I just thought of them like 2 seconds ago.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
No, I said I'm gonna do. I got a couple random questions for you. I said and they all random because I literally just thought of them 2 seconds ago.
All right.
Don't be scared.
I'm not. I'm just wondering what you're gonna ask. I have no idea.
The first one is very crazy and very random, but hey, let's just, because you said something about somebody feeding you lies. So it just made me just think of this question. I don't know the person, has nothing to do with them, but the church that you go to, if you found out or heard that pastor was caught up in a scandal, let's just keep it on the white, like how a pedophile or something like that. Like, what would that do to you as someone that goes to that church? No, that was a very crazy question, but that's what it's about. It
ain't as crazy as you think, bro. Church is a real. It's a place. I ain't gonna put no adjective on it. It's a place. But honestly, man, it wouldn't change much, man, because I've been peeped a long time ago that, man, like, ain't nobody perfect. Everybody deals with what they deal with. I would have an issue as long as when I go, I hear something that's valuable and impactful to my life. I can't judge your personal life. I can't judge your personal life because I don't go there for that. I don't go there to be your That's
another level of maturity, right there.
Yeah, like now my respect for who and how you are. If it was a bold-faced lie and you know what I'm saying, if it didn't seem like you were trying to grow from it and you was just trying to hide it and parade yourself like you perfect and I'm the next closest thing to Jesus, then it's like, man, I can't trust you and nothing else you say. But if it's like, man, if all I've ever heard, and my pastor does do this, he'd be like, man, listen, if you hear about me, you know what I'm saying, there's something wrong with some females and my wife wasn't one of them. And you see me butt naked on the street, strung out on something. He was like, man, don't talk about me. Give me a ride home, man, and cover me and keep me out of the public eye. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's the kind of
pimping right there, man. He just pimped the whole congregation with that.
Don't tell nobody. Just scoop it
up. More so, the mindset was more so than it was like protect my image. It was, listen, rather than talk about me, help me.
Don't kick me when I'm down.
Yeah, don't piss on me because like help me. I need help. Clearly, I can't do it for myself.
Right. All right. Let's go to the next one. All right, second question.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's fair. It's cool. Now, so you're an artist, so I've been seeing this circulating, and I like to know your opinion on it. So, in your humble opinion, who is a better rapper?
Ooh.
Andre 3 Stacks or Fabulous?
You know where I'm going.
Yeah, I mean, I know your Atlanta background. It's very biased. So,
yeah. You said 3. I ain't even hear the second name. When you said 3 Stacks, that was where I was going anyway.
Yeah.
So you were already. It wasn't a real answer because you didn't want to hear the other side of it.
Because I'm
sorry. Say the other person
going on.
Who's the other person? Fab, right?
Yeah. I've been saying that. You seen it?
Yeah, I have seen it. Yeah, 3 Stacks. Because my personal thing is because 3 Stacks isn't limited by cadence, by sound, or none of that. That man gonna tell you what he thinking, how he feeling, regardless. And when he broke that box, he was like, "You are a pure artist, sir, and there's nothing that you're almost uncomparable." Just because most other artists are limited by, we're trying to stick with the norm and we're trying to push a particular standard. He like, man, I don't care nothing about no standard. I don't even like record. I don't even like record fast.
How we sound. We're gonna get it off how we get it off.
Yes, sir.
You gotta respect that. I mean, that's true art, though.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
Can you leave the people with where they can find you and what you have coming up next?
Okay. Start off with what I got coming up next. I am dropping a single every month this year. Next month I got
one time for the single getting dropped every month this year.
Yeah. I wanted to try to run it like your brother do, man. But I be feeling like it ain't no shot. But I be feeling like, man, it costs me too much to make the cook it up like I be cooking it up, man. It take a toll on me, so I need a second. Before I before
take your time to recuperate.
You need support, you know.
Yeah. So
the dream work for sure.
But every month, man, and I give y'all a sneak peek. Like next month, I got one. It's a song of Black women called Roses. And then on in March, I got one with Project Pat. Y'all don't even know he a gospel rapper now, or he on that tip now.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to drop that on St. Patrick's Day. So they're the next two coming up. So look out for it. But you can find me everywhere. The number 2, the word 0.0 TNT, just like my name implies. I changed it this year. It used to just be the number 2.0.
Y'all gonna check that at the bottom of the screen right there where you can catch my boy right there, man. You know.
Yes, sir. It used to just be the number 2.0, but my stuff, my followers, my algorithms, all this stuff kept getting mixed up on other folks' profiles. So I was like, ain't nobody in the world got this. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch it over, start from scratch, and keep everything unique. So you can find me everywhere. 2.0 TNT, social media, Spotify, Tidal, Apple, Napster, whatever. Everything is this.
Hey, y'all make sure y'all go and check it out now.
I don't
put it out there. 2 points. The word 0.0 TNT. And this is on Instagram. He has his Linktree links and other information available for you, and be on the lookout for those new singles that he's going to be dropping. And if you get an opportunity, go ahead and check it out. We put the information on the OSOS Podcast page, how you can vote for the Gospel Hip Hop Awards.
Yeah.
Just trying to clean up and take some home. You know what I'm talking about?
We're coming them yammies back, man. You know what I'm talking
about? Yeah.
You feel me?
Hey, man, it's all some other shit with your boy Joe Prophet, the lovely Monet Banks. And we're giving you opinions back with facts. Straight like that, man. You know, we had a wonderful one with my boy 2.0. You know, gave us his perspective on a lot of things and gave us some game, man.
Really? I feel like we talked about some real in-depth things. You know?
I feel, I'll try to make him uncomfortable a little bit. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? He ain't shake. You know what I'm saying?
Sturdy guy, real stiff, Just like a lot of you're my homeboys in Nigeria, man. Real stiff, man. But we appreciate it too, man. We got our people checking you out. We rocking with you, bro. So we appreciate
that. I rock with y'all too, man. Anything I can do to help, let me know too. Same on both, man.
We are, man. Y'all check us out, man.
On some other shit. Yes, I'm on some other shit. I'm on some other shit. I'm on some other shit.